Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host Jeffrey Lazarus, and you are watching the weekly news update for the week of April 26th on the Gaming Vector. On this week's episode, the new survival horror title, The Evil Within, is announced, Microsoft teases the next generation Xbox, and Nintendo announces their E3 plans. First up, we have the announcement of a new survival horror title, The Evil Within. This ties in with last week's episode concerning Bethesda, as they are publishing the title, which is currently in development at Tango Gameworks, which is headed by Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami. This game looks to take survival horror back to its less action-fueled roots and harken back to the days of Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Mikami stated in an interview with Kotaku that, quote, there are a multitude of traps set throughout the game, so players will be able to use those traps as well in order to defeat enemies. You can use your gun, of course, but the game is set so you don't have much ammo. I want players to think up strategic ways to survive using traps and their surroundings instead of just wiping out enemies with guns. The game is slated for release on PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4 next year. In other news, Microsoft has finally announced the event that will mark the reveal of the next generation Xbox. According to a post on Major Nelson's website, quote, on Tuesday, May 21st, will mark the beginning of a new generation of games, TV, and entertainment. On that day, we'll be holding a special press event on the Xbox campus, and we invite you to join us via the live global stream that will be available on Xbox Live and Xbox.com. If you are in the US or Canada, you can also watch the broadcast on Spike TV. On that day, we'll share our vision for Xbox and give you a real taste of the future. Then, 19 days later at the Electronics Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles, we'll continue the conversation and showcase our full lineup of blockbuster games, end quote. So it would appear Microsoft has finally chosen to pick up the gauntlet thrown down by Sony earlier this year and hopefully give us some hard facts about the much-rumored console. The final bit of news comes from Nintendo and their decision not to host a large-scale press conference at E3 this year. Nintendo President Satoru Iwata stated that instead, at the E3 show this year, we are planning to host a few smaller events that are specifically focused on our software lineup for the US market. Iwata also stated that they have no plans to announce new hardware this year and have shifted their focus to the smaller events because, quote, given that we now have an established method such as Nintendo Direct, we feel that we will be able to deliver our messages more appropriately and effectively by doing so individually based on the various needs of different groups of people, end quote. We'll see how this approach pans out for Nintendo over the coming months. That's it for this week's episode. I am your host Jeffrey Lazarus, and thank you for watching the weekly news update on the Gaming Vector.